Good afternoon and welcome to another reading of Quantum Life by Saint Germain and channeled by Barbara Volkman. This afternoon we are reading chapter 15, The Quantum Life and its Daily Implementation. Chapter 5, The Quantum Life and its Daily Implementation. Beloveds, with the course of this book, I hope you have already begun to understand what a quantum life is all about. A life aligned with the natural flow of the universe, where you are not victims of your destiny, but co-creators of your reality, through the conscious use of your mind, your thoughts and emotions, always aiming for the collective good and global and universal personal and interpersonal harmony. Once you understand this and how your belief system and past experiences work and have affected the way you are perceiving reality and unconsciously co-creating it from there, implementing real change in your life and the way you see it is a big leap in consciousness. To make this leap in consciousness, you need to receive the information in this book and other channels with an open heart and an empty mind, so that there is space for this new information to be processed internally over time and rise to the level of consciousness. Without an empty mind, the absorption of information is compromised. Imagine a bowl full of water. If you try to add any other ingredient in quantity, it will overflow. It won't be able to retain all the added content. In the same way, if instead of water we have something solid or thicker, such as a layer of ice or some gooey substance, the next ingredient, information, won't be able to penetrate the vessel. This is also how it works with the expansion of consciousness. In order to receive this new information, you need to make space and be willing to throw out the entire belief system that has been blocking the entry of this information, rejecting it in every possible way. So the first step to implementing this new reality in your life and putting yourself in a position to receive it is to empty your mind. Listen to the information that comes to you without putting any holds on it or judging it as right or wrong, as this is based on your belief system and the structure you are in. Open your heart and mind and allow yourself to give the new information that comes to you a positive chance. It may surprise you. It may cause you to turn a switch you weren't expecting and, consequently, change your life completely and for the better. Whenever we expand the level of consciousness and add new information to our divine spark, we enter a new level of well-being and quality of life, because these points are closely related to our ability to understand life situations through a positive scope, and that, at some internal point in the past, we were responsible for creating or attracting such a situation to our life and our field. And if we were the ones who created it, we can also dissolve it with the simple understanding of the root cause. Once you have learned how to receive information without blocking it, the next step is to trust in your power of co-creation and watch your thoughts and emotions. Pray and watch, said our Master Jesus Sananda. It's not just about visualizing what you want to co-create, asking and praying. You need to have your feelings and thoughts aligned with what you are intending to co-create and keep them active, as if you had already achieved what you want. This is where watching comes in. Be attentive and constantly monitor your thoughts and emotions. Why am I feeling this? Why am I having these thoughts? And reflect. Remember that if you allow doubt to creep in about what you're co-creating, you make room for this opportunity to happen. Trusting in your power to co-create is essential, but so is learning to let go and allowing the universal energy to direct what you have intuited. The human mind works on a very small scale in the context of the possibilities for achieving what you want. It doesn't see the totality of the infinite possibilities that the whole can provide us with. So again, empty mind and trust. Don't try to see the possibilities in terms of the whole, as this greatly limits the power of God and the universe to act in your life. Because it's as if you're being told that you can only achieve through this or that possibility, and so you close your field to just those paths. Believe in the infinite possibilities of the whole. You don't have to worry about how you will receive. God's omniscience will do that for you. It's like baking a cake. You measure and mix the ingredients, doing your part in the co-creation, then you put it in the oven and trust that it will do its job of baking the cake, because that's its job. In the same way, when you are in the process of co-creating something for your life, you must trust and let go into God's hands, knowing that He will provide you with His infinite possibilities. And here comes the step. And here comes the next step in the process. Knowing how to wait for the time of manifestation and, throughout this period, continuing to work on your improvement and conscious expansion. Whatever you co-create needs time to gather energy for manifestation. As in the example of the cake, you put it in the oven and wait. Now, if you open the oven every minute to see if the cake is ready, the recipe won't work. Because every time you open the oven door to see if the cake has manifested, you dissipate the heat energy and damage your co-creation, often ruining the whole recipe and having to redo it from the beginning. This is the perfect comparison of co-creation. If you don't trust in the infinite possibilities of receiving what you co-create, if you don't know how to wait, because everything happens in God's time, not your time, and depends on your energetic alignment with that divine time, there's no way you can manifest co-creation in your life or get the results you want. It's a very fine line to walk, which requires trust in what you don't yet know how it will arrive. But you need to be certain in your thoughts and emotions that it will eventually arrive. Some manifestations take years, sometimes decades, to happen in your life. This doesn't mean that the universe has forgotten about you, just that the moment hasn't arrived yet, or that you still need to reach a few more milestones to be worthy of receiving them. It's a joint construction. There's no point in visualizing your dream body and hoping that one day you'll miraculously wake up with it. Everything involves construction and energetic, mental and emotional alignment with what you want to manifest. If you want to manifest a certain thing or situation in your life, you must consequently review what habits, thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and patterns oppose what you have designed and what want to achieve. If you want to achieve a certain salary, but you inwardly believe that people who were born where you were born don't have access to this opportunity, there is consequently a block in your belief system that prevents you from manifesting the salary you want. And even if you were born into a context of inequality, problems, or difficulties, you must always remember that this is also part of the trials, learnings and liberations that you have chosen or been placed to face in this life. This may sound insensitive, but understanding that the context does not define who you are, but what you need to learn from it in order to transform and let go is the key that changes everything. You are not your difficulties, nor are you the belief system or context in which you were born into this life experience. This is also a reflex of your past co-creation and actions, or the lessons you have yet to experience from this new perspective. Those who feel victimized by life's events only see it in a negative perspective, and consequently only co-create more of the same for themselves. It's not that difficult to calculate it. You are co-creators and your actions generate consequences, so you are partly responsible for what happens to you. Victimizing yourself and rebelling against the outside world is not the solution. It would be better to use this energy to turn your attention inwards and try to understand how you came to be in this situation. It's not that difficult to understand, but there is resistance to conceiving yourself as a co-creator, because no one consciously wants to attract negative situations to themselves, and attachment to suffering, because poor me, I'm going through this. God will listen in silence to your whining until you yourself realize that it's pointless, and not only that, it's co-creating similar situations in your life again. A being who only sees the negative in everything that happens co-creates a world of negativity and attracts situations that vibrate in the same way. Likewise, those who strive to understand reality from a positive point of view, seeking to learn from situations so as not to co-create them again instead of complaining, also receive the same positive energy from the outside world. The learning cycle ends when the lesson is learned. Until you learn that you are co-creators and responsible for what you co-create, you will continue to do so unconsciously and be held hostage by the ego that suffers with every situation. Once you accept yourselves as co-creators and begin to see outer reality as an extension of yourself, as a reflection of inner reality, the door to transforming all this will open, and it is consciousness. Self-consciousness offers you the opportunity for transformation. From the moment you become aware of the internal existence of a certain trauma, line of thought, emotion, limiting beliefs that could be harmful to what you are attracting to yourself, there is the opportunity to recognize it and thus work to release it from you, to change the pattern. Without awareness, you remain a victim of what is hidden in the unconscious and can only be seen in the light of consciousness, in a deep dive into your inner self, in search of understanding the causes that manifested or attracted such situations. So the natural understanding is that in order to live a quantum life and access the infinite possibilities of the universe, as well as trusting, being vigilant, learning to let go and wait, you need to raise your level of awareness of yourself and your perception of the reality around you day by day. And this is done through daily practice, reflection, inner searching, self-questioning, learning to control the mind and letting go of the suffering ego. All of this is a process that requires dedication and commitment to yourself, because it is the co-creation of your reality that is at stake. What is your level of commitment and responsibility towards yourself in order to reach the level of life and evolution that you desire? How willing are you to let go of your old beliefs and patterns in order to receive new information and access new consciousness? How willing are you to work on your own improvement and internal purification? This process is about you and what you want to manifest. How much do you want to speed up your process of evolution? How much karma do you want to release? How much do you want to expand your level of consciousness? It's up to you. The path is individual, but God will provide everything you need if you remain firm and confident on your journey. Take the step and God makes the way. That's how it works. There is no need to remain attached to suffering. By changing your perception, you will understand that suffering is a gift, because it points out something that has not yet been seen within you, and by looking at it in the light of awareness, you can free yourself from it completely. The more conscious you become, the more positive your vision and co-creations will be. No inner shadows can survive the light of consciousness that observes and understands. Where there is suffering, there is unconsciousness, but also the opportunity to free yourself from it. This is a gift that God gives us every day, the opportunity to become more and more the consciousness that we are and came to manifest. Every adversity, every stone in the road, every obstacle represents a blessing, because it enables us to expand our consciousness as co-creators of our reality. If something isn't flowing in your life, question yourself with your conscience and try to understand if this is really the way. Most people fail in their missions because they follow paths attached to the ideas of the ego that works to make you remain identified with it and with your unconscious. The path is an individual one, but your personal improvement and expansion of your level of consciousness impacts not only your life, but that of people around you. By elevating yourself, you also elevate the quotient of light and consciousness that you are able to anchor, becoming an increasingly luminous point in the neural network of the planet and also of the universe. Each consciousness that blossoms illuminates the place around it and shares this light for the good and collective evolution. Everything is connected, closely intertwined energetically. This is why the coming of an avatar like Jesus Sananda to Earth impacts the lives of so many people, because the light spreads, infects and inspires change in countless other brothers and sisters. Doing your part on your path is also contributing to the global good and evolution of your brothers and sisters, who were born from the same creative energy and are intimately connected to you and the whole. And so you raise your light and build your worthiness. Nothing comes for free. The good you do for others generates the credit of merit. The more you do, the more you receive. It's that simple. Put your ego and selfishness aside. Work on your personal improvement with the aim of having a positive impact on the collective good. Everything else will follow. You don't have to struggle or suffer. You just have to love, be good and conscious. That's all God wants from all His children, and when all or most of you become aware of this and incorporate your divine essence into your lives, which is naturally loving, good and charitable, you will see the greatest transformation take place around the world, for the better, for the good, for love, for sustainability and for the collectivity. You are not alone on this journey. It's not just about your individual gain, but about the collective good. Be part of this chain of consciousness that grows stronger every day around the world, with the daily awakening of more brothers and sisters to a more loving, conscious, understanding, compassionate, responsible, and welcoming life. A quantum life. Everyone is part of this beautiful project of God. Assume your role as co-creators with awareness and be part of the change of light that this planet will experience in the coming years. Be an agent of change, of good, of love, and of consciousness. My beloveds, I am counting on your contribution to this great mission that I've been given, to awaken the consciential change in my brothers and sisters for the age of Aquarius, the golden years that this planet will experience. I invite you to walk with me along this path of love, discovery, and consciousness. I am always here to support you in any way I can, radiating my light and love to all of you, my brothers and sisters, children of the same Father, alongside my great friends of light from the Great White Brotherhood, the Brothers of the Golden Mantle, all the guides of light, angelic hosts, interplanetary friends, superconsciousnesses, spiritual masters, and the planetary governor, Jesus Sananda, to whom I am extremely grateful for working alongside me to guide you through this process of planetary transition. My dear and beloved children, I wish you all the love and divine consciousness in your journeys through this life experience, which is so important and crucial in your process of evolution, so that you may be successful along the way, that you may find the light within your hearts, and that from there you may access the consciousness that you all are, and transform your lives and the world around you from there. For the collective good, for love and for light. I am Saint Germain, and I love you unconditionally and infinitely. Count on me for whatever you need. Everything you want to change outside is inside you. Remember that. I love you and enlighten you to seek the path of your consciousness. Saint Germain. And this is the end of chapter 15. The quantum life and its daily implementation. Thank you for being here. For more content on spirituality, consciousness, and self-knowledge, if you feel it in your heart, follow us on social media. TikTok, Barbara Volkman, Instagram, Barbara Volkman, and Alvorecer das Conciencia, and YouTube, Barbara Volkman. Thank you for listening to the audiobook Quantum Life by Saint Germain, channeled by Barbara Volkman, narrated by Floris Buter.